In 2006, researchers in Germany measured something terrifying. On the days the German national team played, cardiac emergencies in the city of Munich increased by 2.66 times, nearly tripled. No war, no epidemic, no natural disaster, just soccer. But your body, your heart, your blood, your hormones, doesn't know that. As far as it's concerned, every World Cup match is life or death. And the science backs that up. 10 minutes before kickoff, you're on the couch, at a bar, or outside in a crowd. Looks like you're just sitting there, but inside your body, it's already started. Your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone, the same one your body produces when you're being chased, when something scares you, when your survival feels threatened. Your blood pressure rises, your heart rate climbs, your pupils dilate. In 2010, researchers at the University of Valencia measured cortisol and testosterone levels in Spanish fans watching the World Cup final, Spain versus the Netherlands. The results were clear. Hormone levels spiked in the very first minutes of the match, before any goal, before any decisive moment. Your body doesn't wait for something to happen. It prepares, like the battle has already started. But the most jaw-dropping data doesn't come from hormones. It comes from hospitals. In 1998, when England lost to Argentina on penalties, records from the British National Health System showed a 25% increase in heart attack admissions on the day of the match and the 2 days after. 25%, because of a soccer game.
At the 2014 World Cup in Germany, the highest number of in-hospital deaths from heart attacks during the entire tournament happened on one single day. The final, Germany versus Argentina. The score stayed at 0 for almost the entire match. The winning goal came in the 113th minute of extra time. 113 minutes of accumulated tension. The human heart was not built for that. And here's the part most people don't know. The risk isn't just for people with existing heart conditions. Studies show that people with no cardiac history also doubled their risk during high-stakes matches. Soccer doesn't pick its victims. You might be thinking, okay, losing is stressful, but winning must be different, right? Sort of. When your team scores, your brain floods with dopamine, the same neurotransmitter released by food, sex, and drugs. It's a full chemical explosion of pleasure. But alongside the dopamine comes more adrenaline, more cortisol. Your heart rate spikes again, this time from joy instead of fear. And for a heart that's already been running hot for 90 minutes, that burst of happiness can be just as dangerous as the despair.
In France, on the day the French national team won the 1998 World Cup, heart attack mortality among French men dropped by 33%. The joy actually protected them. But in 2002, 2 South Korean fans, young, healthy men with no cardiac history, died of heart attacks during South Korea's win over Italy. One of them collapsed at the exact moment of the equalizing goal, in the 88th minute. The human body has a limit, and the World Cup pushes that limit every single time. But not everything the World Cup does to your body is dramatic. There's a quieter effect, an invisible one, happening to millions of people at the same time. Testosterone, the hormone tied to dominance, confidence, and social status.
Studies show that fans whose team wins have a measurable spike in testosterone after the match. Fans whose team loses see it drop. And that doesn't just change how you feel. It changes how you behave in the hours and days that follow. Risk-taking decisions, confidence at work, how you carry yourself in social situations. The World Cup doesn't end when the referee blows the whistle. It keeps running inside you for days. And there's one more data point that most people find hard to believe. Studies across multiple countries show a spike in births approximately 9 months after a major national title. The biology of millions of people syncing up at the same time, with no coordination, no planning, an entire country celebrating, and the human body responding the only way it knows how.
The 2026 World Cup has 48 nations. It's expected to be watched by around 5 billion people. Think about that for a second. 5 billion hearts accelerating at the same time. 5 billion nervous systems on high alert. 5 billion cortisol releases happening simultaneously across the planet. Never in human history have that many bodies experienced the same emotion in the same second at the same time. Wars didn't do that. Pandemics didn't do that. No event in human history has ever synchronized the nervous systems of 5 billion people at once. Only soccer does that. And your body, well, you think you're just watching a game, is taking part in the largest collective biological event in the history of the human species.
The 2026 World Cup is happening right now. And at some point in this tournament, one nation is going to be crowned world champion. If it's Brazil, their 6th title, every Brazilian fan's body is going to collapse into dopamine, adrenaline, and euphoria all at once. But the Brazilian brain already has a reference for this. 1994, 2002, there's a memory stored somewhere in there. And even then, studies show the body reacts like it's the first time. Blood pressure drops suddenly. The heart slows down. Tears come before the thought does. That's your nervous system standing down from war mode.
If it's Argentina, back-to-back champions, a country that in 2022 stopped everything, cried in the streets, felt something in their chest that no words quite cover, the biological response would be even more intense because the brain already knows what's coming, and anticipation amplifies everything. Now, think about Cape Verde, Curacao, nations playing in their first ever World Cup. If one of those teams made it to the final and won, every fan in that country would be processing something their nervous system has never processed before. No emotional memory of a title, no biological reference point. The body would still release the same cortisol, dopamine, and adrenaline, but the intensity would be unlike anything that's been recorded because it's the first time, and the human brain responds differently when something has never happened before. Scientists call it a peak virgin emotional response. It's the most intense state the human nervous system can reach. So it doesn't matter if you're Brazilian, Argentinian, French, or from a country that just showed up to its first World Cup. In that exact second when the referee blows the final whistle and your country is world champion, your body is no longer yours. It belongs to the emotion.
And that's the one thing soccer does that no science, no lab, and no study has ever been able to replicate. If this made you see what's actually happening inside you during the World Cup, send it to that one friend who still thinks soccer is just entertainment. Subscribe and take care of your heart.